Alright, here today with Blake Riddle's hero deck profile. So, he mollywops everyone at locals with his bitch. Let's get into it.
First, my monster lineup is 3 Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. It's pretty much the most important card in the deck. When he's sent to the graveyard from anywhere, you can add any kind of hero from your deck to your hand, and if you special summon him off of any of the multiple effects this deck has, to get him, you get a mass change. All the mass changes, when you turn a hero into a mass hero, they turn into these really broken cards that I'll explain later. The other hero I run is 3 Elemental Hero Bubble Man. He is just a rank 4 X1Z spam monster that also turns into the water mass hero, which is really good right now against all the pendulum decks. It's mass hero acid, because when he special summon, he just wipes the back row. My other hero, the only other hero I run, is 1 Elemental Hero Blazeman, and he's really just a target for Shadow Mist to hit if you need to go into a Bubble Man. My list doesn't run Polymerization because it's a bad card, and you never want to draw it.
Yeah.
So he did a 4th Bubble Man basically, but I mean you can't special summon him, but it's another target for Shadow Mist. 2 Summoner Monk, special summon Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is still absurdly good. 1 Goblin Bird. Hey, guess what this card does? It's special summon Shadow Mist.
Sounds about like it.
The spell lineup I run is 3 Hero Lives, special summoning Shadow Mist. It's probably worth half your life total. Probably 3/4 your life total.
4,000 life points to win the game.
3 mass change. These get out your max hero boss monsters that are just absurdly really good right now. 3 instant fusion. All your monsters are level 4. Norton is a real card, and it does really cool things with Shadow Mist, especially with it being a water type. It's really good.
It's quite a top deck.
Lances to be able to protect your monsters, your mass hero Darklaw, and basically just stun your opponent for a turn. More copies of just the heroes you run. That's E. I mean, that's pretty much all it is. Rhoda is a 2nd copy of Goblinberg, and the heroes again. Mass charges for duplicity of all your cards. I like to run 1 mass change too, no more, because your only target for it is Summoner Monk, but it's also a 4th copy of mass change, and it does allow you, when you flood in monsters with this deck, which sometimes happens when you open like 3 Bubble Man or 2 Bubble Man and Shadow Mist. You need to minimize your hand to be able to special summon Bubble Man to make rank 4 spends. 1 Miracle Fusion because it can be a real blowout sometimes. 1 Book of Moon. Book of Moon's in here because it actually protects a lot of your monsters, and it shuts down a lot of your opponent's plays. One of the coolest things you can do is Book of Moon Acid, and it still gets its effect face down, so you can get over Skill Drain that way. Because Skill Drain only affects face up monsters. 1 Regeki staple. 2 MSD, Vanity's Emptiness, Skill Drain are still really good cards.
Up they are.
That's my spell lineup. My trap lineup is just 1 Solemn Warning, super good staple. 1 Vanity's Emptiness, this card wins games by itself. 1 Compulse, it's another really good staple. 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, another just super good staple. I run just 3 Fiendish Chain of Disruption. The reason these aren't breakthroughs is because I don't really need to stop what my opponent does on my turn. It's more important for me to be able to stop their monster from running over Darklaw. Because if they run over Darklaw, your chances of winning go down a whole lot. So Fiendish Chain's better than breakthrough in this deck. Even though it doesn't, like, you can't rip the Bubble Man to draw 2, that doesn't really matter that much. 2 Call the Haunted because special summoning Shadow Mist is still really good.
You can special the Norton back and get Norton's effect.
Yeah, and make another rank 4.
It's really good.
My extra deck. 2 Mass Hero Darklaw. This is pretty much the nightmare card of almost every deck in the format right now. Whenever an opponent's card would be sent to the graveyard, it gets banished instead. So that means any pendulum monster gets banished, it doesn't go to the extra deck. Anytime they search for a card, it also banishes, well, it makes them discard 1 card at random from their hand, which then gets banished instead from his own effect. It's also a static effect, so you can chain it onto search effects and stuff like that. and you still get the effect. He's really, really, really good. And a lot of times, a lot of people just fear this card and they think this card is literally the end-all be-all of this deck. I run one Masked Hero Anki. Whenever he destroys a monster by battle, you get to search for a mass change. It is just really an OTK card. Like, that's literally just what it's there for. Because it just allows you to go into Dark Claw after he hits something.
You can also attack directly, which has, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but that, you really don't.
You never use it.
Yeah. I use 2 Masked Hero Acid. A lot of lists only like to run 1, but I like 2 because I'm running the triple bubble main, and sometimes you need the second one to be able to beat the pendulum decks. Because when you withdraw the first one, usually it completely shuts them down for a turn. And then if they're able to ever try to set up a recovery plan, usually the second one is just over.
It's overkill.
Yeah.
More.
One of the best things you can do though is special summon Bubble Man on your first turn, and then set Mass Change. And if you have Shadow Mist and Bubble Man out, then your opponent has to play around Dark Law, and usually they'll try to kill Shadow Mist, which you won't care about. And then they'll set a whole bunch of back row, and then you can just Mass Change your Bubble Man at the end of turn into Acid, and they can't use any of their back row because every card, when you first set it, it's considered a trap, even the quick play spell cards. So they can't MST, they can't Solemn it because it's at the end of their turn, and they can't use the trap cards they just set on their first turn. So that's really, really good and an easy way to just completely wreck people. 1 Absolute Zero just for the 1 Miracle Fusion. The card's too good not to use.
Oh yeah, Ab-Zero and a max change, you just blow a field apart.
Yeah, not only that, but also like, if you can actually the Abyss Dweller, this card counts as 1,000 plus on the Ab-Zero, which makes him 35, which then runs over Dark Destroyer, and you have an Abyss Dweller to stop its effect. So that's really, really good combo.
That is.
Also, Abyss Dweller with Acid works too. Like, Abyss Dweller is one of the really key cards for this deck. 2 Norn for the 3 Instant Fusion. You don't need 3. You're never gonna draw 3, so you don't run 3 Norn.
Yeah.
There's no extra deck room anyway. 1 Abyss Dweller card completely wrecks a bunch of different decks. Stops Cosmos, stops Burning Abyss. Really, really good card. You're able to make it with water almost 90% of the time because you have Bubble Man and Norden. So you're charging for Bubble Man like 4 or 5 times a game. I like running 2 Castel as a problem fixer. I really, really hate lose 1 turn, and lose 1 turns are really everywhere in our locals. So I'm running 2 Castel in case they're able to kill the first one after I try to set it up to get rid of the lose 1 turn. It's Castel. He shuffles away monsters. Pew pew. 1 Honor Arc. I'm using 1 Honor Arc. It's basically another Castel, except it also counts as a water type for Ab-Zero, so Ab-Zero gets the 500 boost off of this. And it's sometimes better than Castel because it can protect itself for a turn with its own effect where it detaches 1, and it's usually a safer line to go into this than Castel and sit on it. Unless you're trying to deal with this 1 turn. 1 Excalibur to be able to get over ships if you don't have a mass change. Available to go into Acid or the Miracle Fusion. He's also a really good card just to go into for an OTK. He's just a big beater for Warrior specifics. 1 Emerald. It's really the heart and soul of the late game of this deck. If you don't have the 1 Emerald, you're not going to be able to go into more than 2, maybe 3 XYZ plays unless you draw multiple instant fusions. It shuffles in your Shadow Mist and your Bubble Man. If you ever activate his effect to shuffle in, usually the specific ones you want to target is 2 Bubble Man, 1 Shadow Mist, because you can always search for more Bubble Man, and you don't need to draw Shadow Mist later in the game. Because once there's 1 in the graveyard, you don't need more than 1 in the graveyard, so you want more Bubble Man because it's just a better rank 4 spam engine. The 1 Romney God, this deck can occasionally just open him up on 5. When it does, your opponent usually just completely loses.
Pretty much.
Also, he's a 2-star 3,000 beater that doesn't get destroyed by battle, so it's kind of better than Excalibur in certain situations. The fact that it can be unaffected by card effects and stop your opponent from being able to normal and special summon and hit other effect, which basically says win the duel when you use it if your opponent has cards out. He's just a really strong card. He's like probably the 1 flexible card in this deck. That and Excalibur, like you can interchange those 2. But I really, really like him because if you just like, if you open up a hand, it's literally like, it doesn't even matter. Like the deck has a billion different ways of making this on 5 on turn 1. So it's literally like hero lives, special summons a hero, you special summon Shadow Mist. This is just an example because these are just 5 different things. Goblin Bird for Blaze Man. Set this, special summon this. E for another Bubble Man, special summon it. And you have a mass change from a hero lives. I mean, like Goblin Bird really opens up a lot of paths for him being on 5 on turn 1. But it's really not that hard. I'd say you probably do it about 1 out of 15, maybe 20 duels. This is an opener though. But he's generally very, very strong to go into if you can get him out. My top board, 2 Max E, really good against certain decks. Really good. Drawing cards is good.
I'd say.
2 Effect Valor, stopping stuff is nice sometimes. You really don't need it. You don't use it for a tuner effect. If you can, I would probably replace these with Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbits because generally Ghost Ogre is going to be better in most situations because it destroys the card. Effect Valor stuns the effect, which it stuns like Trish, Castell, and stuff like that to protect your stuff. But if they get out Trish, if you don't have Fiendish Chain set, you're probably going to lose. But this is just very specific matchups. 2 Light Imprisoning Mirror versus Teller Knights and other light-based decks because you have no light monsters in your deck. 2 Mind Drains, Tie Frames. 1 Rivalry. This is really for like Cosmos. There's a couple other decks in the format that get out multiple different types, and if they do, you can just Rivalry them and it just ends the game on the spot. Usually. 1 Storming Mirror Force is a Cosmos. It's really, really good against them. Better than Mirror Force. 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance, Pendulum decks are a real thing, and this card really kills them. 3 Fairy Wind, same thing with the Anti-Spell. Pendulum decks are a real thing, and Fairy Wind is very, very, very good against them. But also this gives like, if they bring in Royal Decree, you can chain this to Royal Decree, and it gives you another out to Royal Decree besides having the mass change into asking for it.
Alright. Well, thank you. Sounds pretty good.
I didn't steal anything.